Okay, so check this out. People like to tell others to check their egos, right? And that may be because their ego is getting in the way of their check, like their actual dinero. In fact, a recent article on Medium's The Startup decided to break down 6 ways your ego may be getting in the way of your happiness. For example, thinking we are better or worse than something like doing a job or dating someone is a giant red flag. Or if something bad happens to you, you're always quick to get defensive and blame others instead of like learning from the experience or what was wrong about it. So ladies, I'm curious if you've ever let your ego get in the way before.
Baby.
Not all at once now,
my
come
ego
on.
is set up. It's not just my ego. It's a sense of pride, and I literally have this crazy fear of embarrassment. Like, I have a fear that I will either ask for a raise and be turned away, and that would be mortifying to me, or that I would audition for a role and not get it. And like, so I just won't audition at all because I don't think that I can do the part. Like, do you know how many times my husband has this quote? He's like, "What has embarrassment cost you?" Like, just fear of being embarrassed that you don't take the chance, that you don't take the risk. That is literally the story of my life. Like, I'm working through it now, but literally, like, I wouldn't ask for a raise. I would never, at the idea that, like, someone would think I was an opportunist, or, like, I'd be embarrassed at the idea that you'd reject me. So it's like a fear of rejection and all those things that might possibly ultimately end up hurting my ego and my pride. Let me tell you, this alter ego pride of mine, her name is Orgullosa. She got issues and she needs therapy.
Okay, I got something to tell Orgullosa, whatever her name is. Orgullosa. Okay, listen. I'm gonna tell her something right now, okay? The next time she wonders if it's ever worth being afraid of rejection, there's only one thing worse than rejection. Are you ready? Regret, Adrian. Because rejection, you can actually deal with it. You know what happens. Regret, you live for the rest of your life never knowing what would happen, and that's worse.
Yeah.
After I did Cheetah Girls, crazy enough, I actually was offered a movie, and because at the time I was like dating someone older and cooler than me, I literally thought like, I can't keep doing these Disney movies. This is so corny. And I was afraid of embarrassment of doing more of these Disney corny movies, and I was like, oh my gosh, like nobody's gonna want to date me. I was a lot older than the roles I was playing, and so I passed on the film because of embarrassment and pride, thinking that this was gonna hurt my look in the street, my street cred. And turns out it was actually the launching pad for Selena Gomez's film. When I turned down the role, they gave it to Selena Gomez.
Really?
Yeah, it was the movie that like launched her whole career.
I'm mad.
What has fear cost me? A lot.
I would have dragged you to the audition. I'm mad.
No, I didn't even audition. I didn't have to audition. I was offered the role.
That's unbelievable. That's
wild, right?
Well, yeah. But I think, what did you learn from that? Like, if someone offers you something now, would you take it?
And I still haven't learned my lesson. If I feel like it might not work out, I might not go for it. Like,
Adrian,
I really struggle with pride and embarrassment. I really do. Even now, if there was like a song that I recorded,
you seem so confident.
If there was a song I recorded, I would be afraid that people would think the song was whack, so I'll never put it out. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
You're doing great. I think the fact that you can say it.
But at the same time, Adrian, what I love is that you have the real fam, you have a fan base that constantly tells you how much they love your singing, how much they want to see productions, whether it's you and your family, you and your husband. So those like individual reminders, if you're doing it even for one person and you bless them or you save them from their own fears, then it's always worth it. Remember that.
That's a word right
You know what I mean? Like, that one person.
If it even helps one person out, if one person likes it, it can make such a difference.